Hello, this is Halan and today we are going to be drawing ourselves an apple. If you've been following my drawings on DeviantArt or my latest speed paint videos I've been uploading, you'll see I've been drawing a lot of apples lately, and I wanted to actually make a tutorial about them. I've been wanting to do this for a while, since last August actually, but I finally got my act together. And I'm hoping that you guys will enjoy this. So, apples are pretty much shaped however you want them to be shaped. This one's going to be a real kind of classically pretty apple, but apples are shaped like lumps. You don't have to worry too much about making them symmetrical, but I will with this one because I want it to be super photogenic. But usually there's not really a wrong way to shape an apple. They grow like a potato. They kind of look like potatoes sometimes. Alright, and just racing by onto step 2. Which is pretty much just step 1 all over again. Technically, it's the line art layer, but if you're a little familiar with how I draw, I'm gonna paint over this anyways. But it's really a good thing to do because you get to make it a little neater, a little bit more precise. It gives you more of a groundwork to lay the final image on. If I'm doing something like one of those speed paint challenges that I've been doing lately, sometimes I'll skip this step because the entire point of those is to get it down and get it down fast and to get more of a rough impression of what you're intending to do rather than the exact details down most of the time. But this, I want this to look really nice, so we're keeping this step in, and I recommend that you do as well. Alright, and I'm using the watercolor pen to flat. There really isn't a good reason. I usually use ink tool pen, but the apples I've been drawing lately I use a watercolor brush on, so for me it's feeling more familiar. So this is supposed to be a red delicious apple. That's why it's so red, and it's going to be really shiny and stuff because red delicious apples are really waxed, I believe, which makes them look really pretty, but I think they taste terrible. I usually prefer to eat pink galas or golden deliciouses myself. So onto the 4th step. Look at us just whizzing along here. It is going by really fast. This is awesome. So I'm gonna hold down the control key and select the layer that's got all the apple coloring on it, create myself a new layer, and use the watercolor brush around the edge to shade it to give that apple that spherical look. That's what I'm gonna be doing. And I set the layer to multiply, that way it gets the shadow just a little bit darker, it's a little richer, I think it looks better. So, gonna shade the leaf in a little bit right now. These leaves have little veins in them, so that's pretty much just what I'm drawing in. If you hold them up to the light, they glow, they look really beautiful, but we are not doing that with our apple that does not exist right now, so it's going to be a bit of a boring looking leaf. And I'm really sorry about the screeching in the background. I'm in another room, but it's my parrot screeching its little head off, which it seems to start doing it every time I speak, so I'm sorry. Alright, and we're going to add apple shine here. I'm not going to be using the luminosity effect because the shine on the apple is really white, since a lot of apples are waxed, to make them look really shiny and pretty and healthy, and I think it might also extend the shelf life. I will be using the luminosity effect, never fear, just not on that right there. So gonna add some ambient highlight on the bottom, gonna lower the opacity on a little bit because it's on the bottom part of the apple and the light's kind of coming from the top. So this is gonna make it a little more three-dimensional, make it look a little better. So adding just a little bit more shading, topping the shading up a little bit, making it a little better, making it look a little nicer. Shading that little sticky thing up top that attaches to the apple tree. Doing a little bit more stuff on the leaf, and pretty much, you know, you could stop drawing right now if you wanted. It looks like an apple, probably smells like an apple. Anyone who looks at this is gonna know it's an apple. But you're not watching this tutorial because you want to draw an apple. You're watching this tutorial because you want to draw a really nice looking apple. So stick with me for the next step and a half, I guess, and we'll do it. So this step is the second to last step, and it's really about refining the apple. I'm dulling the shape of it a little bit because there's nothing wrong with the shape it was at all. But this is supposed to be more of a fancy apple, a little narrower at the bottom, so I'm just making it look a little nicer, you know, a little more of a photogenic apple instead of what apples usually look like, which is whatever they feel like looking. Apples are really bumpy, lumpy, kind of ugly sometimes. Tastes good though, they make really good pie. I don't like apple pie, but people tell me it tastes really good. So shading it, making it a little dark around the edges so it looks more spherical, more 3D. Pretty much this stage is all about fixing things up, making the shape on the top look a little more right, touching up the highlights, adding more details. It's really pretty much my favorite step because when you get to this point of a drawing, you're seeing what the actual drawing's gonna look like instead of, you know, all the beginning parts. It doesn't always look very good, you know, and you've probably, not on this itself, but there are drawings where you're gonna spend a lot of time on them and you're gonna wonder, is it worth spending all this time? Am I gonna end up with something that kind of looks like a poop, like you drew poop but you were trying to draw a chocolate fudge brownie? But at the end, you discover it looks like a chocolate fudge brownie, and it's like the most amazing fudge brownie ever. well, at least for a week or something, and maybe you'll look at it and go, oh wait, no, what was I thinking? Maybe. I know that's a problem I've had with my work because I always try to improve. So this here is this thing that I think really brings an apple to life. A lot of them have these little dots on them. And so I'm switching it to luminosity layer, kind of a light pink color, and just making a bunch of little random dots on this apple. And I'm just going to turn the opacity down, and look, it looks really fancy now. It's got a little bit of heart, a little soul. It's glowing a little. Real apples don't glow, but no one needs to tell them that. And yeah, I'm gonna supersize my last step. I really like doing that. I think it makes it look just a little bit more impressive. And pretty much it's more the same, more of what we just did. Just a little bit more detailing, touching up, trying to make this apple look the best apple it can be. Gonna neaten up that edge a little bit. Erase a little of that. It's already a pretty clean line, so I'm pretty impressed. That's pretty cool. And adding some more shadow. You can add too much shadow, but you have to work at it. Add more of that white glossy highlight. I mean, hey, I'm gonna speed up this last little bit of it here. That way you don't have to sit down so much. Alright guys, so we have drawn an apple, and thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm going to try to kick out some more tutorials soon. I really like doing these. I like feeling like I'm actually giving something back to the art community, because I have looked at I don't know how many tutorials, how many speed paints. That's really how I started learning. So if this helped you or inspired you to draw some fruit, let me know. Thank you very much, and have a great day.